Extra is next and brought to you by Jolliffe Funeral Home. Here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everyone. We're very proud to have members of the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office with us here today, including Sheriff Mark Overman, Sergeant Troy Brown, who's been with the sheriff for a number of years. We'll find out how many here in just a minute. And we have also a new deputy with us, and he just is kind of coming along for the ride. He's kind of with Troy right now, I think, doing some activity with the sheriff's office. Just got out of the academy, so we'll talk to Jarrod Shepard here in a little bit as well. But the main idea of this whole thing is the fact that the Law Enforcement Torch Run, the annual Law Enforcement Torch Run, coming up tomorrow, and the sheriff's office, as well as a number of the other local law enforcement agencies involved. And Mark, you've been doing this for how many years? Long time, haven't you?
Since it started in Nebraska in 1984, group of us got in a van and went to Kimball and stopped in a park and waited for a while, and a motorhome from Lincoln showed up, and some Lincoln police officers got out, and we had a little ceremony, and we just took off running down Highway 30.
Yeah. So it's progressed quite a bit, because it used to be that you guys. It always starts on at the monument, at the top of the monument, right?
Well, it always did start at the top of the monument.
Now it just starts at the monument parking lot?
Well, yeah, because we used to start at 7:30 in the morning.
Right.
And now we're starting it later. We'll kick the run off at 10:30. Registration will start at 9:45 in the parking lot at the monument.
Okay. All right. And is it simply law enforcement officers, or can anybody be part of this?
Well, it's mostly law enforcement officers and emergency people, and it's not really open to the public because of insurance considerations, but also Special Olympians can run. We've had military run. National Guard's always been a big supporter for us. We've had firefighters run. People that are involved in law enforcement, county attorneys' office, probation officers, corrections officers run.
Okay. And Troy, you've been involved with this too, right, for some time?
Yes, I got involved in 1994 when I was hired with the Gearing Police Department. Started out my first year. In fact, everybody knows Captain Goodrow from the State Patrol.
Yeah.
He passed the first torch off to me back in 94 when he was still a Gearing police officer before he went into State Patrol. And I tell you, it's been coming into it as a new guy in 94 and got to meet some of these people that are involved in the Special Olympics and the torch run, the participants. It's an incredible feeling when you meet these guys, because they're genuine people and they have a lot of fun, and what we're doing is a great thing for them.
Yeah.
To keep them participating.
Now, the whole idea is to raise awareness and money for the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Here, is that right?
Yes.
Explain how you guys raise the money. You take pledges?
We take pledges. People sponsor runners. This year we had a polar plunge for the first time, which brought in quite a bit of money, which was well needed for our athletes out here, because they're so far from Lincoln and Omaha area. They do have to travel quite a ways to participate, because most of the events are sponsored back toward the east. And so every little bit they can get helps them out, because they don't get no other monies come in for these people to help them participate other than what we get them donated and what their families put up for them.
Yeah, and Special Olympic events, don't they have the state Special Olympics event is in August or something like that, if I remember correctly?
It starts this week, Kevin.
Starts this week. Okay.
That's the reason. It starts on Wednesday, kicks off on Wednesday, and it takes place at Creighton University. And the athletes go down there. They stay at Creighton in the dorms, and so it's a big ceremony. I was able to go there one time for the opening ceremonies and running the torch in, and it's a big deal down there. And there'll be, I don't know how many participate in Nebraska, but I know just from our area there's about 100 athletes that'll go.
That's quite a few. And this whole torch run, you mentioned it started in '84. It's kind of evolved to a situation where you guys used to run down the highway, and then you would carry the torch clear across the state. You'd kind of relay it down there through various departments, through Highway 92 and all that stuff. And you remember that. I'm sure Troy probably remembers doing that as well. It's a little bit different situation now, right?
Yeah, they changed it up back in 2009. We changed it up so that it made more of a local event out of out of the torch run, and we would run now from the monument through Gehring, up 10th Street onto Broadway, up to Frank Park, which is up by the National Guard Armory, and then we end with we barbecue and have cake and just hang out.
Make a real deal out of it.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, make it kind of a fun social event
right.
as well, right?
Right, yeah. And most of that's just for the athletes because they like to hang out and make a little party out of it.
Yeah. And like you said, some of the athletes participate in this as well, right?
Yes, they will run with us from the monument, and they go as far as they can, and then they'll kind of leapfrog. They'll get in the car and go ahead of us, and then get back in the group and kind of hang out and run with us as far as they can. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this run tomorrow is, and guys are gonna have nice weather. It's be 60 degrees, almost perfect running weather.
Yes.
7 miles.
It's about 7 miles. We figure from the monument to Frank Park. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys will probably do that in stages too, or are there some of you guys that are gonna run the whole 9 yards?
There'll be probably a few that will run the whole distance. We have one deputy that's trained and run a half marathon, and he's been running 14 miles pretty regularly. So I think he'll probably stick it out the whole way.
Yeah.
If Captain Goodrow runs, he's a big into that marathon and triathlon stuff. So he's probably hardcore enough to run the whole distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And get these young guys in there, and they can get it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jarrod might be able to do it. He mentioned he did the 5 mile run at the academy just last week, so he wasn't too bad, and he doesn't have to worry about setting a time or anything. So
no, it's a nice leisurely run, like I said, and you'd be surprised once you get to running and talking and having fun and razzing each other. You get pretty motivated that you don't really realize how far you've gone, and then pretty soon you're there and it's over with.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. There is an organizing committee, and maybe hand the mic here back to Mark, and we should make sure we mention all these people because these people are helping organize it. Looks like you got some sponsors as well that are helping do this also.
We do at Scottsbluff Police Department. Officer James Todd, Trooper Chris Bear with the State Patrol, Captain Jason Rogers, Gehring Police Department, Dennis and Sharon Gregory, they're with the Good Sam's Club, Kathy Scott with Special Olympics Families. We have the Bits and Spurs 4-H Club that helps us out. The staff at the Scottsbluff National Monument has always been very cordial to us. And folks that are helping us out are Arby's, Co-op, Walmart, Pepsi, and a new sponsor that we've never had, Fresh Foods Store in Gehring.
Well, that's good.
Stepping right up.
That's good. All right. And, of course, you guys do this. You do the polar plunge now. Are you guys still doing the cop on the top of the roof thing? I can't remember you doing that for a while.
We did cop on top for a couple of years. That's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we had Trooper Jeff Boston with the patrol was big on that, and he has moved to Kearney. So we haven't done that, but the polar plunge was another thing that we did. That was a huge success, and that's all a part of the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics.
All right. You guys are doing a good job. Let's take a break, and we'll put the new deputy in here and have him kind of talk about his new experiences with the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's
Sensitive,
Office right after
comforting, personal. Jolliffe Funeral Home. Let Jolliffe Funeral Home help you honor those you love when they've passed. With unmatched service and artistry, our team will help you carry on the legacy of your family members and friends. With over 100 years of experience, we offer professional and personal attention to every detail in the planning process. We also offer advanced planning as a continuation to our services. That's Jolliffe Funeral Home. Our family serving your family for 3 generations.
All right, we are back on News Extra today. A lot of fun with the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office today. Sheriff Mark Overman, Sergeant Troy Brown, discussing the Special Olympics Law Enforcement Torch Run that'll be going on tomorrow. Starts around 10 o'clock, 10:30, over at the Monument, Scottsbluff National Monument parking lot, and they'll be running all the way to Frank Park, going down to 10th Street in Gehring, and then across. And so if you see the law enforcement officers running tomorrow, give them a shout and give them their support. And we also have a new deputy in. Jarrod Shepard is here. And Jarrod, you just started with the Sheriff's Department here. Just this is what, your kind of first week on duty, is it?
Yeah, I was hired back in December and got done with the academy about a month ago. So I've been on for about a month with the Sheriff's Office.
All right. And Tell us about the experience with the academy for people that don't know it real quick. What's that academy experience like?
It's a great experience. They give you probably more information than you can take in. It's all extremely helpful. It's a really busy schedule. Involves a lot of physical activity, obviously a lot of class time, bunch of different subjects, and we have some of the best instructors from across the country there.
Yeah. And you go for what, is it 90 days?
It's 14 weeks.
14 weeks. Okay. So everybody has to go through that academy if you're going to be a law enforcement officer in the state, a certified law enforcement officer in the state.
Correct.
And then, so you've jumped on here, and now do you ride with someone for a while, or how does that work?
I do. We have a field training program with Sheriff's Office. I'll be with Sergeant Brown for 2 more days, and then I'm going to switch field training officers. I'll be riding with Deputy Bliss, and I'll finish out my last 4 of 12 weeks with Sergeant Chitwood.
Okay. Now, you had a little experience this morning. You kind of stopped somebody that maybe you didn't really know for sure that's who it was, right?
Yeah, that happens.
You know, he doesn't want to talk about it very much, but he stopped Doug Warner this morning. Apparently Doug he didn't realize, Doug drives older vehicles. That's all he really has is older vehicles. And so anyway, he just told Doug to kind of slow it down. Tell us about yourself real quick here before we get back into things.
What do you want to know?
Just where you grew up, where you were raised, you're married, single, all that kind of stuff.
I'm from Michigan originally. I moved out to western Nebraska about 6 years ago. I've worked in construction my whole life, but had always had an interest in law enforcement. Finally took the plunge and was encouraged by a couple of guys I know from the Sheriff's Office to apply, and I applied back in December of 2010, got hired 2011, and just really excited, very proud to be a part of the Sheriff's Office.
All right. Yeah, that's great. And we're glad to have you. Sounds like you're roaring, ready to go. You don't mind stopping whoever is doing things, so that's good. That's good. You're off to a good start. All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right. You bet. Jarrod Shepard, the new deputy with the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for having us.